Hi, I'm Shanvir Oti.
I'm Brandon Shields.
Hello, I'm Adam Reynoso.
David Penn.
And our project is on the effects of climate change on coral reefs in the ocean.
Okay, so the image we have up here is this really cool image I found where I pretty much looked up global climate and its effect on coral reefs. So it kind of just outlines the multiple reasons how global warming is affecting coral reefs. But we will get more deeper into this image later on in the discussion. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna really kick it off with is why are coral reefs so important? So do you guys want to say some stuff about that? What do you guys think they're so important?
So first, they are the most diverse places in the world. One quote talking how they are more diverse than forests, which contain a bunch of different types of species. Also leading to they are a huge source of food, but that's also a reason why they're kind of disappearing. So it's kind of like we got to find a medium there, between the food source and kind of protecting them,
Yeah, I agree. It's super diverse. And that interesting quote that we were talking about before we started this, in one of the PowerPoints, it said that in 5 minutes, scuba diving, you find more life in the coral reef than you do in a forest in the Midwest or something.
Yeah, I agree. Tourism is a big factor in why coral reefs are super important. They bring in a lot of traction for companies and for countries to make money. So without coral reefs, a lot of places lose their business and their livelihood.
Yeah, another reason coral reefs are important is that in regards to climate change, they're one of the most vulnerable ecosystems in that they have little scope for adaptation. So there's a likely chance that they can disappear.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so going into our next topic, we really want to talk about, so what are professionals saying about coral reefs? What's really going on with them? And I think one of the best ways to start this off is something with what the IPCC said, pretty much saying that since coral reefs are the most vulnerable, since as Adam said, they have little scope for adaptation. So even the professionals are saying you guys got to watch out. Coral reefs are not something that we should be messing with because they're so weak.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary statement where they're saying that we could really lose majority, if not all, coral reefs by 2050. I mean, something so serious, and still some people aren't taking it that serious, it's just something that could be catastrophic to a whole just group of diverse organisms.
Yeah, just gone. Yeah.
Yeah, the data has also shown that 20% of coral reefs have already been damaged beyond recovery, and that 50% are in critical condition and under risk of collapse, meaning that as time goes on, more and more coral reefs might be destroyed.
Yeah, so the primary reason why coral reefs are disappearing from the world is due to coral bleaching. It's the loss of algae that live in a symbiotic relationship with the coral and give it its color. This is due to hot ocean temperatures that result from global warming. Global warming is occurring, of course, because humans are using a lot of fossil fuels and releasing it into the atmosphere and the oceans.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you say that. So obviously people are going to try to do something about that, right? And that's where MPAs, marine protected areas, come into play. So the real question here that we focus on, are MPAs effective? Are they working the way they should be? Are they really protecting coral reef? What do you guys think?
I think it's a good start, definitely, but that can't just be the only thing that we do. There's a lot of natural factors that we may not be able to help, but we got to start changing the things that we do on land so that we can begin to decrease the destruction in the coral reefs.
Yeah. Adam or David, do you guys want?
Yeah, I agree. Although MPAs cannot protect corals from global warming, because global warming causes increased storms, more acidification in the ocean, and things like that. It does help with the fish loss, and it prevents more loss than we would be losing if we did not have MPAs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where this image kind of comes into play. So MPAs can like stop human stuff, human interaction from damaging the coral reefs, but you can't stop like nature, right? So you can't stop global warming affect the warming of the ocean, the sea level rise, storm patterns, and stuff like that. That is something that we just simply cannot stop. Adam, do you have anything to add to that, Adam?
Yeah, I agree that we cannot stop the force of nature, global warming, for example, but it is important that we try to save the coral reefs since they are so vital to the ecosystem of our planet. So we can try to mitigate or reduce the effects of global warming through any possible means.
Yeah, definitely. And then you talk about reducing it. You have to look at what's the main thing out of like what is really climate change really damaging, or how is it damaging, right? And then we dive into the topic of ocean acidification. So we talk about ocean acidification and its effect on coral reefs. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, what's going on down there?
So what's happening is when carbon dioxide dissolves into ocean water, 50% of carbon dioxide that's released goes into the atmosphere, and the other 50% goes into the ocean. It's transformed into a carbonic acid that makes the water less conductive for corals to grow in.
Yeah, and as the picture shows, when there is increased ocean acidification, the way this affects coral reefs is that it decreases their growth rates and their structural integrity.
The biggest thing is really just continuing to teach people about global warming and how because I think when a lot of people are just driving around, they don't know how that can affect something under the ocean. They don't realize how harmful it is to the reefs, the coral reefs. So really just spreading the knowledge of this is one of the most important things on how to stop it.
Yeah, it comes down to us, right? So only we can stop the damage from going further to the point where we can't come back from. So if we take a step now and reducing our fuel emissions and really caring about nature, that's when nature's going to start bouncing back from the state that it's in right now. Anything else you guys want to add? I mean, I think that's pretty much, we covered all the topics that we really wanted to in this discussion. Anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, if we truly value coral reefs and want to protect them, we should really take a look at carbon footprints and see alternative actions that don't produce as much carbon dioxide.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one of the steps, right? That's how we're gonna get there.
Right. Some examples could be walking or biking instead of driving. Moving towards solar power, wind power, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also think it's in the end important to protect coral reefs because they also serve as a huge economic benefit to the world by providing tons of food and money from tourism. So if those were all to die off, it would affect the economy greatly too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So it comes down to us, right, to stop this stuff. So it's about what we do in the future, and that's really what it is. Anyways, I think that's pretty much everything that we really want to talk about. Thank you for listening, and that's the end of our project.
All right, thank you.